Diseases and medical processes. How to maintain a healthy routine.
Hello, this is Coyotas, Burritos, and Chimichangas podcast. Welcome to our second podcast. How you know I'm Romandia.
I'm Juan.
This time to celebrate our second podcast, we have a very special guest, brought from New York.
This podcast is brought thanks to Coyotas Malú, Burritos de Percheron, and Chimichangas Rodriguez.
Now, here we go to a special guest. Say hello to Gael. Gael is a doctor. He's known for his TikToks and that's arrived to America, revealing many worse health problems.
It should also be noted that Gael is a graduate of Harvard University and participated in creating the vaccine against COVID-19.
Besides, he has a hobby of take photos and he has a Nobel Prize.
Hey guys, I'm so excited for the invitation to your podcast. You are so friendly and thank you for the confidence.
The topic that we are going to talk about today is diseases and medical processes, the importance of health. I have an anecdote. I remember once I ate Chinese food late at night. The next day I woke up feeling something bad in my stomach, nauseous and dizzy.
That's happened to me and I have another anecdote. Well, I had the flu and I thought it was a Omicron virus, so I had to be closed for 14 days because I thought that it could spread to others.
Oh, I see. Sorry to hear that, guys. You must have felt terrible, but that happens when a large amount of fat is consumed. And when you go to sleep, your body turns off certain functions to be able to rest well. So, your digestive system doesn't work at its maximum. So, it's very likely that you have a stomach infection. And to Romandia, I have to say that I'm sorry too, since it is a delicate topic that still scares us. You did your best being isolated from people so as not to infect them until the virus is gone. The best thing for both is to take antibiotics and for one an antacid for discomfort along with painkillers and cold tablets to avoid discomfort and in Romandia.
Well, yes, it's the best way to feel better. And it's normal feel afraid because the COVID has made a big impact in the community. Come on, the COVID had 5.75 millions of death. Maybe it's a topic that we need to check in another podcast because it's a topic that everyone talk about that. And the COVID have several types of variation and each one has different variation of probability of contagion and different probability of mortality. But the good thing is that it's already over because we have several vaccines.
Of course, the topic of COVID is very extensive and we have to know many things about it. Maybe I can go back and talk only about it, but it is true that science that given us a lot of help with the issues of vaccines and has saved thousands of lives. There are people who are anti-vaccines and although everyone is free to think what they want, I always recommend following the steps of the science of health and avoid serious disease. Do not be afraid since thousands of tests are carried out before launching them to the population.
Yes, on that subject, I remember that a friend was hit by COVID, and I remember that he told me that he felt quite bad, that he always had chills, sneezed a lot, and was always vomiting. When the vaccine arrived, it was something quite good, since little by little we were able to return to normality, which I think we already needed. Since being afraid that it could hit you at any time was a bit stressful, and as my friend told me, what a simple flu can be can turn into something very painful.
Okay, that friend was me. And it's true that I feel bad, but I did not suffer so much.
Leaving the topic of COVID for another podcast, have you had a tooth beaten? Because in my case it only happened once, but I remember that it hurt a lot.
Well, usually I have not had cavities, I think I occasionally go to a dentist because not much has happened to me apart from putting me brackets. But I brush my teeth and that's it.
Yes, after the problem I had, nothing has happened to me, since I try to brush my teeth at least 3 times a day, which is what dentists recommend, since I really don't want my problem with teeth.
I have to tell you that visiting your dentist periodically is a very good thing, as well as having blood tests and constant checkups. Part of being healthy is confirming that everything with you is well internally, because we know that many diseases are usually asymptomatic.
Remember that you have to wash after 20 or 30 minutes after eating. Otherwise, you will be spending more food on your mood or something like that. I read.
And always remember to visit your dentist at least 2 times a year for a regular checkup.
Okay, talking about the checkup, I remembering some things. For example, the brackets are not just putting them on. Even though it's checking many things. For example, the teeth have a base, and that base are more or less strong depending on the person. Because, for example, if you don't have a base strong on your teeth, you can have brackets because it can damage by the pressure. Eh, and it have a process where you need X-ray to check the base and check how you are in the position of your teeth.
Yes, I had heard something like this thanks to friends who told me that the process of brackets was quite tedious and even complicated. At a certain point, at from experience that friends told me when they put the brackets on them, it was a rather long process, and that they restricted certain types of food since they could damage the irons, right?
Yes, severe food can damage the iron, even though it's more than it can take them off the teeth. Practically, any medium hard food can peel it off. It has happened to me with a fruit tortilla, but you get used to it and you can even eat peanuts if you know how to eat it. About the process is depending on the people because yes, the first time is very long and tedious, but later in the other days is more easy. Each person feels the pain different. When I have brackets, the first day I couldn't eat.
Exactly. I am glad that you are well informed on the subject. It is something that we should all know since we never know when it can be offered to us. You know that you can always come to me, send me an email or a text message. It's enough to assist them, or you can go to one of my medical centers. My staff and I are trained for any health issue. We are glad that you are aware of it.
Wow, from what I see, wearing brackets is not easy. Although I find it interesting that you mentioned that it depends on each person how long and even painful the process of having brackets is. Although if we think about it is somewhat logical since it depends on the teeth of each person and how they are formed and developed. Or something that they told me that the younger you wear them, the better.
That's right, the truth is that these are very interesting topics, but we have extended sometimes, and I would like to thanks to the Dr. Gael for having accept our invitation, and all of you for listening. You, we always wish you a happy day. There are something you want to say, Dr. Gael?
Of course, the subject of science and health is a very extensive subject. We could last hours explaining doubts and many other things, but without further ado, I have to thank you for the trust and I'm available for anything. I really like to talk and everything about the topics.
Well, to conclude, I would like to say that health is a very important issue and that we should pay more attention to it. And Dr. Gael, thank you very much for coming to talk with us. And with this, we say goodbye. See you next time. Bye.
This was Coyotas, Burritos, and Chimichangas. See you in another podcast. Goodbye.